Blue butterfly gang gang. We got cycles, fate, karma, something ending, something beginning. Hi, Chanel. Now, the energy, I feel like I'm channeling a lot lately, you guys, okay? So before I get into these readings, I already kind of have an energy that wants to come out. So this is, something's ending because you guys are letting go of the past, right? Oh, welcome, honey. Hanifa. I think that's how you say your name. But you guys are manifesting something new, new love, right? A new partnership, new connection, or a new energy in general, because it's like you don't want to repeat another cycle. So something is ending and something new is beginning. Now, those of you guys that are manifesting somebody from the past, like maybe they were in a connection and they're ending that connection, they want to start something new with you, but they have to go through that ending first, right? So there's definitely a lot of endings that are happening right now, but it feels like you guys are in that Queen of Wands energy where you're magnetizing things towards you. There's a pull right now. Those of you guys that are new, my name is Queen She. Welcome. All my readings typically are like a series. I carry two different energies, twin flame counterparts, but they're all really one energy. It's just the way that I believe in it is that like we move through cycles. So it's the energy following you, not a person. That energy is going to continue in a new person if you close out a cycle, right? So that's why it's one energy, but it's also two different cycles collective that you can be in. So a version of a story might sound like a twin flame storyline, but it's actually a counterpart. But as you're going through the energy, then you'll figure out where you actually are. You won't really know where you are until you book a personal, right? And I do offer personals. The link is in the bio under where it says connect with me, but make sure you guys read the website before booking because I am focused on your journey, right? And I offer 3 different types of readings. So with that being said, let's get back into the reading. I want to pull these oracles because the oracles always set the tone of the reading. What else, Holy Spirit Angel guys? We have solace in the secluded garden. Somebody feels left out, but somebody's finding peace in being left out. This is giving shadow energy, right? Not in a negative way. The way that I see shadow is like, you know, it's like the villain, but it's really like why that villain became that villain. It's not really the villain. It's actually just somebody who's more real, honest with themselves. They could come off as scary at times because the shadow energy sometimes can be very selfish, self-indulgent. There's 2 versions of how you can use it. You could use it in a negative way. You could use it in a positive way where it's just like sometimes you have to be selfish. Sometimes you have to not give a fuck. It protects you, right? But we all carry that light and shadow within us. Now, whether you tap into it, that's a different story, but we all have it, right? Sometimes it can be that negative mind, but somebody's finding peace within their shadow self instead of neglecting it, pushing it away, because it's like they're always being outcasted, pushed aside. It's like the Joker, right? You could look at the Joker as an example of what that shadow energy looked like, because before the Joker became the villain, he was a good person. But he got pushed around. He got bullied. You get me? Until it's like, okay, now this part of me comes out where I'm protecting myself. Now you're all scared, right? So it's like that. Whatever this ending is, it has brought someone closer to their shadow self. We have Wasteland's Absolution. And we have Imposing Impediment. Impediment. I don't even know what that word means. Hold on, y'all. I gotta look it up. It means a hindrance or obstruction in doing something. Second meaning is a condition that makes it difficult to produce speech sound clearly, such as lisp or stammer. Oh, wow. So to me, it's given like a delayed type of energy where someone could probably have a hard time expressing how they feel, right? Or someone has a delayed reaction of like how they feel. Like if you're always positive about things, you kind of block out the truth of what you feel. And then when the situation is over, you think about all the things you should have said, what you could have done in the situation. So then it's like that delayed reaction of like, fuck, I wish I said this, da 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 da. Because you didn't see it that way in the moment, because the positivity was blocking out what was actually happening, right? Somebody could also feel like something was a waste. Let me see something. This is gonna be a good reading. Hold on. I love shadow readings because it's always so intense and deep. Oh, absolution is a form of release from guilt, obligation, or punishment. Oh, I got chills. You guys are closing out this cycle of being a motherfucking people pleaser. Ah, that's what that is, okay? So it's like, yeah, your shadow is about to start to grow. That's what's happening right now. So that cycle is closing of like always seeing things from the good side, bright side, always being the bigger person, always feeling responsible for playing the role of, okay, I'm understanding, I get it. I'll give you grace. I'll give you a second chance. It's done. So some of you guys feel like you wasted your time in a situation because it did not grow. It did not give you what you wanted, and that's what hit this turning point. So you're finding peace. It's like, okay, if I'm always going to be the bad guy, if I'm going to always be casted out, if I'm going to never be really seen, I might as well be what people say that I am, but it's not that you're giving into that role, but it's like you're just done with it, because it's like, what is the purpose of me always trying to be so giving or loving or being understanding, right? So when you come to a realization of, just because I can understand you, why you operated that way, da 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 da, it doesn't mean that I have to accept it. You can understand something, someone's actions, why they did it. You could even break it so far down deep to their trauma, but that doesn't mean you have to excuse the behavior of like how it affects you, right? It's like someone can say, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to hurt you, but you still fucking did it. You still thought that it was okay to string me along or leave me hanging, or, you get me? Because I've been through things too. So when you start thinking about your own self, that's the shadow energy, becomes more selfish. It's like people are always thinking about themselves. So they want to justify their behavior because they don't want to look like the bad person. But the reality is like, even if you didn't know it was going to turn out like that, why would you even not think about how that would affect me? why would you not think that's your decision to, like, not give to me when you knew what I wanted, what I valued? You know how hard I was trying in the situation, or you knew what I've been through, but you still use it against me. You still made that choice. Do you get me? So then it becomes like, now you start thinking about yourself, that even though you understand they might not have had the awareness, they still made that choice and it still affected you, because even if you didn't have certain awareness about certain things, maybe you always prioritize other people's feelings, to where it's like you think about how something is going to affect them. You think about how things are going to play out, so you kind of overgive or over explain yourself, like I be doing at times with these readings, right? So that they can understand, but it's because it's done out of love. And then when the shadow part of you starts to come out, you're no longer doing that. You're no longer over explaining yourself. You're no longer feeling like it's your job or your duty to make somebody understand why they did you wrong, or what's going to happen if they do you wrong, that what it's going to be like when they lose your energy and what you had to offer them. Now it just becomes more about protecting yourself. Okay, if I see someone behaving a certain kind of way, then I'm going to take myself out of the situation so that I don't get hurt from it, because they are choosing to operate this way. And it's not my duty and my responsibility to save them from my absence, right? Because sometimes you try to stop things before it happens. Because when you know yourself, it's like, I'm very giving, but when I'm done, I'm done. But I do have a lot of patience to give. But when I'm done, I'm done. Hold on, let me see what you're saying. Thank you, Christopher. Do you think you're doing something? Y'all both asked the same questions. It's 16 people in here. And they're just now coming in here. Even if it was 2 people in here, yes, I'm doing something. Because that's 2 people that I'm helping look at things from another perspective. So, but what are you doing? Are you doing something? Are you doing anything? You just on people's lives, harassing them? Hi, Bree. Do you think that you need to think you're doing something in order to do it? You need to do it. Thinking doesn't do anything. We could think all day long. If you don't take action, it doesn't matter what you're thinking about. Thank you, D'Angelo. But anyways, I wanted to troll to you guys. Back to the reading. You welcome, Leilong. Look, I'm here for who I'm supposed to be here for. And that's all that matters to me, because I'm doing God's work, and I know that. Some people have gifts and abilities for a reason. And when you do what God wants you to do, regardless of the outcome of it, you're going to always get the rewards of that, right? Because it's not about you. It's about the collective. It's about us helping one another, because at the end of the day, we're all God. So the more God can grow in its body, right? Just imagine that, like, oh, this person, they have information, and now they've sparked this other person with that same information, and now that person sparked this person, and this person sparked that person, and that person sparked that person. All it takes is 1 person, 2 person to make that spread, and now it's this big wildfire of powerful energy, right? That is out here representing how powerful God is, because God is both negative and positive. God is both the light and shadow. God is both the devil and the angels. He created all of this. So when you have a bigger perspective and understanding of life and who God is and how big God is and that you are God, what is there to fear? You get me? There's nothing to fear. You're all powerful. So when more people can realize their power, that they can manifest anything that they want, and that spread like a wildfire. Now we have people that got their own minds, and they could add beauty into the world, and then that world could be more beautiful, because you're going to also have negative people who are going to try to spread that as well. So naturally the balance is going to be there, or we're going to fight it off. But heaven and hell is what we create every single day. And I just had that talk with my daughter today, because her father is a Christian. I'm not. I'm spiritual, right? So she told me that her dad said magic is bad. It's the devil. And then I don't go against him. He's allowed to spread his religion to them. But I always told him that if my kids ask me questions, I'm going to answer them. Because we both, and I was in Christianity before, you know? So I also know his belief system, but he doesn't understand my belief system. And I could break things down to where it's like you could understand on a kid level. And it makes sense to me. I think that religion, it's not bad, but you have to be open-minded, because if you're weak-minded, you're going to just take in everything people are telling you about who you are, right? And then you're listening to man and saying it's God. If no one has ever really seen God or been in the presence of God in that way, why wouldn't you trust your own self and who God is to you, rather than somebody else telling you who God is? So why would God, to me, it's just things that are just plain right there. Why would God give people gifts and abilities if they're not supposed to use it? Why is it always that it's the devil? Because they have a power that you can't explain, or they can see things that you can't. Maybe you're just blinded to your power because you're not open-minded enough. So you have not unlocked things within yourself, in your God body. Because if you're made in the image of God, then that means you have power, right? That means you can create. We're all creative. But if you suppress that power because of your own mind, then of course you're not going to open up those gates to how powerful you are. So when you see other people in their power, embracing their gifts and abilities, it's easy for you to say it's demonic. It's easy for you to say that's the devil. It's easy for you to say anything that it's of God. That, you get me? But then you can't speak for God. So anyways, goodbye. You could leave. Nobody cares. You don't have to believe in what I believe in. That's the beauty in being human. Thank you, I. Hi, Jessica. Thank you, China. Yeah, people are very selective, because how are you going to believe in a reading, right? When religion, but then people still be in religion. So how do you believe in a reading? You're watching the tarot, but then you're talking against it. You're already going against what you believe in. So people they be contradicting. You got to trust yourself. I believe everybody is God. God is in the mirror. God is not in the sky. God is not anywhere but inside of you. So it's not that I have more power than you. You get me? I'm just more tapped in than some. But if you're tapped into, I'm literally just confirming what you already know, because you got the same knowledge, you got the same power. You get me? And that's what we do. We're just bringing it out. We're not giving it to you. I'm not giving you power. You either have it or you don't. You get me? So those that know and y'all get it, y'all get it. But every now and again, I gotta like emphasize on that. I don't know what Cardi B smell like. I smell like me. So anyways, some of you guys are tapping into your shadow energy. And you guys are embracing that you're outcasted, right? People don't get you. People don't believe in you. People don't see you. People don't choose you. But that does not mean that you're not worthy. So there is a tribe for you. There are people like you. That just means that it's time for you to embrace your duality, who you really are, right? Like, I'll say one more thing and I'll get into the reading, but like, my belief system is that God is both, like I said, light and dark. That's how look at the world. The world is dual, feminine, masculine. It's opposite, but they complement one another. If you're afraid of it, that duality, then you're going to be ignorant to who you are. You need to operate out of a dual space in order to survive. Like, how can you see into the unseen realm if you're not connected to your shadow? That means you're only connected to your light and you're always focused on the positivity. I'll never forget what this woman told me on Instagram when we were going back and forth, and she told me that she took care of a homeless man. She let a homeless man come into her home, and then she had to go somewhere. This is her good heart, her light energy. She had to go somewhere, and she let that man stay in her house, and she didn't know this man. This man ended up robbing her, and she would do it again. You are not connected to your shadow self. You're naive, and that naiveness will get you killed, because just because you got a good heart, you can't see that other people don't have a good heart, that other people don't have good intentions. That's not to say don't be good, but you're naive. That you're delusional. That man could have killed you if you were still there. You get me? You lucky he just robbed you. And then for you to say you would do it again, you don't love yourself enough, because you prioritize other people above you. And you could have helped that man in other ways. So it has nothing to do with you not being a good person. But if you think you're selfish if you don't let this man in your home, that's something you got to fix. So when you're connected to your shadow would never allow that, because your shadow is protecting you first. You don't know this man and you don't owe this man nothing. You better make sure that you're going to be safe. So when you have that balance, the way your shadow and your light is going to work together is that your shadow is going to say, no, he cannot come stay with us, but we can find resources and give it to him. We can give him food. We can help him locate like a shelter, but we're not going to let that man come stay with us. Because your shadow is real. Your shadow is self-centered. You come first. You get me? So it's nothing wrong with you tapping into that part of yourself, and that is of your shadow side is also sacred. That is of God. Remember, the Bible says God is a God of wrath, right? What did God do when he got mad and pissed off? He fucking killed the whole world. He put Noah on a boat, gave Noah the resources to build up and take two of everything, take his family, right? So he could start all over, because God wiped them motherfuckers out. He was mad. So when people talk about like God is just good, God is fucking crazy. He is good and he's bad. Like, he created everything. So where do you think sin came from? It was already in the devil. When he put Adam and Eve in the garden, it was a test. But he knew what was going to happen. So you're contradicting yourself if you say God is not both the devil and the angel. He knew what decision humanity was going to make before he even put them in the position. So come on now. But we not finna preach to the choir, okay? Because y'all, I'm a lawyer. I could get on here and I could just be battling. But that's just some knowledge for y'all, okay? Hi, Robert. Thank you, Jackie. What are you talking about, Rentier? You mad? Who said I was a life coach? I ain't say nothing. I just be dropping gems. It's going to always be up to you to discern what fits for you and what don't. You don't got to take everything people say, and you don't got to throw away everything people say. We all have knowledge. Some people that have grown, like they're they've been on this earth longer. They have wisdom that we've never experienced. You would be foolish not to listen to that, right? And then there's people that, like, again, they've experienced things that you've never experienced. So you can learn from anybody. But you just have there's just different things. If someone's never had children before and you have children, you can't listen to that person that's never had children give you advice about kids. But that don't mean they don't have no wisdom to offer you. They could tell you about, like, they might have experienced a lot of people who play games and they have knowledge in that area. So it's not being a life coach to share your experiences or to drop gems, knowledge that you have. Everybody is a life coach because life is going to teach you. Exactly, Jessica. Thank you, Hanifa. Yeah, if you take the Bible literally, something is wrong. And feminine energy is chaos, so I think the feminine plays a large role. It is, because y'all already know the feminine energy is God. We birthed the world, right? But the feminine energy isn't a woman thing. It's the energy. We're just made in the image of God. So it means God is dual. So God is both feminine and masculine. But the feminine energy did birth the world. She's going to beat your ass. She's the disciplinary. She's Big Mama. The masculine energy, he is the submissive energy, right? He needs the feminine energy to balance him out. So when a masculine ain't tapped into his feminine energy, he's losing in life because he's just ego driven. Because then the masculine energy is also the egotistical energy. Man, when you really break it down, then you understand why life is the way that it is. But it's not saying that woman is better than men. It's never that. Because there's men that are tapped into their feminine energy and you see it play out. Those are the ones that can lead and guide, because the feminine energy is the leading energy. That's why girls mature faster than boys. You get me? But they don't want to tell you that. They don't want y'all to know that. So when you know who you are, they can't play with you. And that's what I love about these divine feminines rising, because y'all out here whooping ass. Okay? Y'all out here giving that Kalima energy. So come on. All right, back to the reading, y'all. Y'all get it. We got it out there. So that's that new cycle that's beginning, because the shadow is now intertwining. It's coming. It's not that it's just now beginning to be birth, but in a way I would say, yeah, for some of you guys, because it's like if you were always positive, right, the empathetic part of you, then you've always pushed aside the shadow, but you would always have those intrusive thoughts, but you would never act on those intrusive thoughts, or you would try to push away those intrusive thoughts. Sometimes we can label ourselves things that think we're aiming for perfection. So we think by being a good person, that is perfection. But it's a self-sacrificing spirit. It's martyrdom. You get me? No one is a good person. We either just balance out that energy of giving what's appropriate in a relationship connection. If someone deserves your goodness, you give it to them. If someone is treating you like you're shit, like you're meaningless, why would you keep giving them that good energy of you? You're sacrificing yourself. So accountability, they don't deserve that, right? So the birth of this shadow energy is like finally not feeling like you have to always be kind. You have to always give of yourself, like, especially when it's not deserving. And because it's like the more you give, the more you're being pushed aside, right? So that's the energy of this reading. It's that someone's like, okay, we're done with this way of living. What else, Holy Spirit, angel guides? We have King of Wands. Ooh. We got Page of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. Somebody is seeing this feminine as very independent, very abundant. She is Self-sufficient, she does not need them. We have King of Wands. And he feels like he's lost an opportunity. Why did he feel like he lost an opportunity with this feminine? Okay, he was lying or he was hiding something. What was he hiding? See, this is what pushed her into the shadow energies, because he could be a fire sign, but it's because he was lying or he was hiding something. And it's like she was trying to get some information, but he wouldn't tell her. He wouldn't open up. It doesn't even mean that he had to hide anything bad, right? This could be like, how do you feel about me? They won't admit their feelings. They won't connect. So then it's like she has to let go. Or it could have been like some rumor that she heard and she asked them about it. They won't tell her the truth about it. She just expected them to like answer the question. 10 of Wands, 6 of Swords. Why is the 10 of Wands and the 6 of Swords? Oh, their burden. Okay, what else? They don't know what to do. 3 of Swords, Knight of Swords. Ooh, they're stuck. They're in their head. Okay. They don't know what to do because it feels like their confidence is shook. They don't feel that they can come back in this connection because, again, they're going to be met with her shadow this time. I feel like this feminine switched. Like, she got tired. You know, you give someone so many chances to make something right and they don't, and then you finally just get turned off. You finally get tired. That's the energy that they're seeing her in. Like, they're stuck on her and they're hurt that, like, they just feel like she's not there. Y'all remember that that meme that be going around from that movie? I don't remember the name of the movie, but it'd be like when she was like, Christina's not here. Like, that's the energy that feminine is giving off. And they want the old you back, the part of you that was given to them. We got Page of Swords, they're watching. Ace of Pentacles. They're trying to see if they have an opportunity. They're trying to find an opening to come back in. Why are they spying on her? The Lovers, what else? Okay, they're trying to find out if she's with anybody else. Christina's gone. Yeah. We have Page of Cups in the reverse. Why is the Page of Cups in the reverse? Knight of Wands. They feel like she's still single, but they feel like she might be a player. Hold on. 2 of Swords in the reverse. 10 of Swords. Ooh, they really feel like she changed. I don't think this feminine is a player. I think this feminine just she doesn't operate the way she used to. That version of her is gone. So it's like, I feel like you would have to bring that out of her. If she used to be very loving and giving and open. You know, when you meet somebody that's like very happy, they're happy-go-lucky, they're always smiling, they're always like the life of the party in that way because they just have really good energy. I feel like that's how this person is, but they took it away. They don't do that anymore, right? So it's like, you'll feel their power when they walk in, but you would think that they're quiet. If someone's judging them that don't know them, it's like, oh, I think that, yeah, that person's very quiet. That person doesn't really talk to nobody. We don't really know much about them. You don't give out your energy anymore, right? And they feel that coldness. It's like a coldness. But it's not that you're being cold. It's just like, it could make people feel insecure. You don't like them because you give them like that resting bitch face, right? But they feel like you're single, but you might be a player. Like you don't believe in love anymore. So they're kind of scared that if they came back and you would play them. Because if that's what they did to you in the past, they treated you like you weren't anything, then they're feeling like you're going to return that. You're going to now play them. It's something where they also feel like you are. Some of you guys talk. The way y'all talk is like you speak up. Maybe some of you guys have a platform. You don't have to, but I do feel like y'all got a slick mouth. Like, because that's how they see y'all. We got Queen of Swords. But they feel like you don't give a fuck. Like, you're going to say what you feel. You're gonna be honest about it. Like, hi, Demetrius. Thank you. You're going to be honest about it. So they feel like if they came back in, you would not hold back how you feel. They feel like you're a shit talker. But I think that you never used to be that way. Like, you're completely different. You get me? Like, you used to be somebody who, like, you really cared about what you said and how people would feel, but you're not pleasing anybody anymore. You're just like, and it's not even that you're trying to be mean. You just don't give a fuck. You guys are giving I don't give a fuck energy about how that made you feel. Because it's the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth about yourself. I'm going to tell you the truth about how I feel. And I feel like y'all be like, because it's Queen of Swords energy, they're very direct. They're very honest. So this is somebody that's like let's say a feminine, when she likes you, she doesn't focus on your flaws, but they're there, right? And she loves you so good that it makes you feel like you're on top of the world or you're a king, but you're really not him. She just believes in you and your potential. So it's not that when she gets mad now she's gonna call you out, but it's like she'll say the truth, like, you're not even really all that. Like, you can't even take care of yourself. You still living at home. Da da da. Like, I don't need you. I don't need you because I'm self-sufficient. I could take care of me. Like, I really just liked you. I liked the way that you was treating me. And I could see your potential, but you ain't really like that for real. So, and I know I could find somebody better. Right? It's like, that's some hurtful stuff to hear, but it's the truth. It's not that you're trying to be mean, but it's like, I just didn't tell you how I really felt about you, or I wasn't focused on that part. I was just like loving you genuinely. But if you want to go there, like, I'll tell you how I really see you. I'll tell you some shit that would hurt your feelings. Damn. Right. Cheating, like, because I mean, when you're a cheater, you're really just insecure. You're never going to be fulfilled because you're not happy with yourself. So you're always looking for somebody else to make you happy. So when you call that out, it's like you think that's a flex that you cheated. You can't make me feel insecure when I'd rather just walk away from the connection and be done with it because I fulfill myself. I don't need to cheat on you to feel good about myself. I don't need multiple people to sleep with to tell me that I look good, fine, whatever, for me to feel like I'm somebody. You do. So that makes you less than, right? Like that be the truth behind stuff. So I feel like this feminine can break you down and she could really make you feel bad about yourself if she wants to. So you could think when she's loving you that like you got power, you got control. But the moment she takes that away, you'll feel that energy switch because it was never that. It was never that. It was like I was choosing you. I was loving you because I wanted to. But you took advantage of it. So now you got to meet the other part of me. The part of me that don't care. The part of me that don't get back with my exes. The part of me that hold grudges or kick people out of my life and I'm okay with it. So I feel like there's a King of Wands feeling that energy that like they told some lie, they hid some lie and they feel bad about it because they can't come back into this connect, but they're watching like who Is she with? Has she gotten with anybody? They feel like she's not. They feel like she'd rather be a player. She'd rather be single. It's almost like they feel like they broke her heart. They feel like they broke her. Like they broke her spirit when it comes to love. Is that true? How does she feel? Because I don't think that that's how she feels. Yeah, we got justice. We got the Tower. No. She's like, no, they just unlocked something in me. We got the Empress. She's like, no, that's not true. They just didn't know that I get down like that. That light. Because even if this is the first time that this feminine is tapping into her shadow, to where it's like she's learned her worth and her value, and she's protecting herself, even if she's coming off as looking mean. I think she's always known this about herself, that like she has the ability to cut you off when she's done. So she might not have done it in this way where she's now connected to her shadow, but she's always been that way, where it's like, when I choose you, I'm all invested in you. But once I'm done with you, then it's like you never existed in my world. I let you go. So I'm not hurt about you. I'm not going to talk about you. But her energy is different. That's the thing. It's like, it's not just that she cut them off. It's this energy that's emitting from her. Because that she would still have that peaceful, haha, go lucky energy, even if she cut you off. So those people would still kind of have hope that like if they come back in, they could talk to her. But now it's like, I don't know if I could talk to her. Something about her energy scares me, like she will bite me or something. I feel that, Petals. Be honest about everything. When you're single, I think you could be friends with your exes, but you know, when you're in a real partnership, I think you can't. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you. They feel like she's going to bite their head off if they try to come back in, but what they're not realizing is that this is their karma, right? Karma is the consequences of our actions. So if you treat somebody like they're nothing, like they mean nothing to you, after they were so good to you, what do you expect? You expect them to keep treating you like you're everything and never get tired of that? That says a lot more about your character, that you will take advantage of someone's kindness. It doesn't matter how much someone forgives you, like you should appreciate that forgiveness and actually try to work through it, because that says a lot about that person's character and how loyal they are to you. That's a gift, but sometimes people don't recognize that gift that they have until it's taken away. And that's the thing that I love about God, because that is God energy. That's a goddess, right? That's why they're called goddesses and gods, because it's like, that's how God operates. God will remove its hand if you're not appreciating what you're being given. And it's to teach you a lesson. So God is going to always be forgiving, right? Because we're all his children. But he's not going to not discipline you. And just because he forgives you doesn't mean he's going to tolerate your nonsense. That's not what forgiveness means. That's not what unconditional love means. So that's what heaven and hell is. You create that in dynamic situations. There's no real heaven and hell to go to. It's either you're going to be in heaven with me or you're going to experience hell, because the hell is the absence of my energy, the goodness that I come with in your life. Because if I have pure intentions for you and I love you, that is the Christ-like qualities of me being in my God energy. But when I pull that energy away, you now experience the darkness, my wrath, because it's not that I'm busting out your car windows and all of that, but you no longer have access to that love. And I'm not going around hating you, but you no longer have access to that love you took advantage of. That would make me a fool to keep giving you that. Am I not worthy to be loved? Am I not worthy of being respected? So why would I treat myself like a fool? I gotta love myself. Why would God not love himself? You get me? So punishment is just the consequences of your own actions. And what is hell? Punishment, right? So I'm just feeling like preaching tonight, y'all, okay? It really be for the trolls that be thinking like they eating when they be coming in here trying to like put that God stuff on me, that religious stuff on me. It's like, baby, I'll break it down for you so you understand, okay? Because I know who I am. I was born in Belize, but raised in Cali, but now I'm in Houston, Texas. Yep, they be confused when you don't let the hurt turn you bitter. Because you know who you are, you know what you give, you know how you love. So when people take advantage of you and they let their own evil desires take over, they get punished for that. Because that's how God protects you. And that's the crazy thing, right? It's not really that God is protecting you, you're protecting yourself. So who has the power? And the reason why I say it like that is because it's like people pray. They pray for a lot of things, but the thing is you got to put action behind that prayer. You'll get it because the universe is going to give it to you, but you have to put action behind it. So you could pray all day that you're protected, but if you put yourself in spaces where you'll get hurt, why the fuck wouldn't you get hurt? You're not invincible. You still have to make cautious, careful choices. That's where your protection is going to come from. So if somebody's abusing you and not caring for you, then you remove yourself from the situation. That's how God is protecting you, by giving you the intuition to move out of the situation. He's not going to physically come down and move you from it. All right? So anyways, I'm preaching again. But it's the result of their own actions. So now they have the tower moment. And now they're crying because they're scared of the feminine and her shadow energy. Now they're recognizing she's an empress. So they're feeling what an empress looks like now. What they didn't appreciate before in her, what they were experiencing was that Queen of Cups energy. And that Queen of Cups energy is very loving, very feminine, very soft. Now, when you hit the Queen of Swords energy out of an empress, she's direct, she's truthful. She's not really concerned about your emotions. It's not that she's trying to hurt you either, but the Queen of Cups is more concerned about your emotions because she has emotional intelligence and she's very emotionally intuitive. So she will feel you, and her empathy towards you will make her watch how she says things. It's going to make her think more about you than herself because of her empathetic nature. But now when she has that balance of the Queen of Swords, she don't give a fuck about how you take it. She's going to say the truth because it is the truth. People going to feel how they feel about the truth. That's not your job to try to make everybody feel good about it, right? And when she has that balance of the Queen of Wands, she could also be warm with her truth. So she could also use that Queen of Cups energy mixed with that Queen of Swords energy to deliver it to you more gently so that it doesn't scar you. But it doesn't make her wrong if she chooses not to and just be straight Queen of Swords, cutthroat, right? But she could be gentle about it to where she explained it in a way that you have understanding from a more logical perspective, because she's breaking it down to you like a child, right? And then when she has that Queen of Pentacles energy there as well, it's like you could trust what she says because she's consistent. She lives by what she says. She's not just talking out of her ass to make you feel away. She carries herself with that dignity, that pride, that respect. She's consistent in who she is. Her energy is stable, and she has wisdom, and she's grounded. So you can rely on her. She's dependable, right? You can expect her to show up that way consistently. That is what makes up an empress, is that she has the balance of all queens. So what he didn't know was that he has met an empress. So an empress is not, she's going to love you, but she knows when to take that love away because she's not going to put up with your bullshit. Now, some feminines are still growing into the empress, right? Because if you're just now awakening to your shadow, that's a part of that energy, because now you're coming into balance with your yin-yang duality energy, which is light and shadow. And then there is also the yin-yang energy of your masculine and feminine energy. It all boils into the same thing. Y'all could research that. But when you're balanced with that yin-yang energy, it's like that goes into so much in who you become as a person. Because not only are you not a pushover, like, you know when to cut something off, and you know when to be all about you. You know when to pull back, right? You know when to balance out that energy. You also know how to use your masculine and your feminine energy. It's not about you behaving like a man. The masculine energy, you know when to take action. You know when to cut your emotions out of it and focus on what the plan is and build, right? You are the blueprint. You have the blueprint. Now the feminine energy creates. So she creates out of that blueprint. She has the plan. She's structured. Now she's following the plan and she's building up that plan. So that makes you a powerhouse when you have balance of your feminine, your masculine, your light, your shadow. And then now when you become all four queens, that's all four elements: earth, fire, air, water. That's what we're made out of. That's what the world is made out of, right? Boom, powerhouse. Don't that sound like a powerhouse? So you can't fuck with a person that has that much power in them and they know who they are. But they had to go through things to become that. They weren't just born like that, you know? So now that King of Wands recognized he's dealing with an empress, what makes him recognize that she's now an empress? I mean, I broke it down to you guys on what that energy looks like and why it's so powerful, but we don't know how he really knows that, because sometimes when you don't recognize an empress, oh no, I'm reading general readings. I have another channel for the signs, and we're going to go over there after, but it's in the description box. It's called Queen She Tarot. So over there we do the zodiac signs. Over here we do collective. We do a lot of talking, breaking it down. Over there, I just read the energy. So we're collective right now, general. But yeah, it's like, how does he know she's an empress, right? Because I just broke down to you guys what an empress is. And you have to have all those four elements. You have to have that balance of light and shadow and masculine and feminine, because an empress needs no one. She's self-sufficient. She's a goddess. And the emperor is a god, right? We start off as the aces. The aces is the beginning of something. Then you have the pages. The pages is like, you're new to it. So you're like a baby. You got to grow. Then you got to grow into the knight. Then you got to grow into the king or the queen. Then you grow. Once you have all four, then you become the empress or the emperor, right? So you go through, oh, I missed the knight. Page, you go from page to knight to king or queen, then the empress, then the emperor. So, and then when you have the Hierophant and the high priestess, that also is like the type of couple that you are, because now you are the spiritual couple. Those people typically have like something that they have to do together with spiritual work. But It's levels to it in this journey. So when you meet an empress or an emperor, no one's going to compare to that person. Because even if they're not fully evolved into that power, you're going to still recognize that power as you go on your journey and you meet other people who only embody a certain percentage of it. But that person had more of it, but you didn't appreciate it because you thought you could get more of it as you keep going on your journey. And then you recognize, no, you met a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You're welcome, Rico. So how does he know she's an empress? How did he come to this conclusion? We have judgment. Okay, his awakening. We have the chariot. What else? King of Swords. What else? Knight of Spears, the Hierophant. Okay, so this is the King of Swords. Now, this King of Swords, he is going through an awakening because he's gotten to that point on his journey. And he's at a place where he is using man, get out of here. Get out of here, please. So with this judgment and chariot, it's like he's waking up. He's waking up to himself. He's waking up to his behavior. He's waking up to like the fact that he has free will. And this is what he recognized in her. So she's come back to mind, right? Because he used his free will to like leave this connection at some point. He went down another direction. Remember, there was a lie. There was something he was hiding and she got tired of it and she walked away. But this is the moment that like her shadow switched because all the love she had for him now went to, now he has to face my shadow when he comes back around because that is who he unlocked. Like, he didn't keep the light part of me. He now has the shadow part of me. And that's how she is balanced because it's like he's made it to where she has to protect herself from him. He's now the enemy, right? Because of his actions. So if he betrayed her, the shadow came out because it's like, now you're my enemy. Now I have to protect myself from you. I would be a fool to keep giving you my light and you destroyed that before, or you tried to. So he has to face her shadow, but he's looking at how she used her free will because when she left him from how he was hiding and keeping secrets, she didn't try to figure them out. She didn't try to get him to open up. She didn't try to force them. Like, she didn't go around chasing them. She just made the decision to walk away. That's her choosing free will. And now that he's waking up, he's probably got bored of wherever he was, whatever he chose. He's realizing that he have more free will and power than he gave himself credit for. He's very slow, okay? You got this masculine is slow. We got the Knight of Pentacles and we got the Hierophant. It's like he wants a more spiritual life. So he's been waking up to his spiritual self. So in the past, he was more worldly. He was more materialistic. He only saw things from one perspective, one point of view. So to me, that means that he didn't use a lot of his free will. So let's break that down, right? It's like we all have been there. This is the gift of waking up. When we're sleeping, we're not even recognizing like how the snails. We're not even recognizing how like programmed we are because we think that it's certain things that we want, but it's really society telling us that that is who we are, right? Like, social media makes it worse for people and the younger women growing up in masculines because social media projects that in order for you to be successful, you have to have this certain type of lifestyle. So now every man thinks that every woman wants this certain type of lifestyle. So they feel like they got to be rich before they can have this. And a lot of people faking their life, and a lot of people won't, and some people are rich, but everybody's not supposed to have that. Like, it's okay to have a normal life. You get me? And it's okay to be natural. It's okay to not wear makeup all the time. But then if you feel like that's what makes you eligible to be picked, or that's only when someone's going to really like you, that's a faulty belief system that you have about yourself. So your worth is defined by what other people say it is rather than you knowing what it is. So you're not really using your free will because you're controlled by a mindset that you think is your own when it's not what you really care about. But until you go on your self-discovery journey and you figure out who you actually are, now you can make decisions for yourself. Like, you get me? An example of that, it's like, some people might hate me for it, but to me it don't make sense when black people get mad at like other ethnicities and races for wearing braids. What the fuck? Like, we wear wigs, straight hair. That's not our natural pattern. So it's like, how are you mad that other people are doing it and saying it's cultural appropriation? Yes, we do have some people who do it for that, but that's rare. Just like you don't really see a lot of people going around wearing blackface, but there is some people who do it. So it's like, you can't attribute that to everybody when you do the same fucking shit. That's the programming making you think that that's how we're keeping racism alive and going. At the end of the day, none of that shit should matter. Even if you did culturally create something, who the fuck cares? Other people, you should think of that as like, you know what? They love our hair texture. They're rocking it, but you fighting with them because they want to have dreads. They're trying to make their hair more nappy. Like, when we wear fucking wigs all the time, like, it don't make sense to me, and I don't care. Y'all could take my black card, whatever, right? Because I don't even claim to be black anyways. I claim to be African because black people are African descendants, and I'm African descendant, but I'm African Belizean, not African American. So even culturally, I don't have that mindset because that's not my mindset. I was not raised in America. Like, but again, that's all a part of the programming, okay? It's all about the programming to make you believe that, because black people have their own culture in their own sense, and they influence the world. The wigs, the way y'all wear them clothes, and like, y'all do that, and I love it. I'm not against it, but I just don't like the irony that like they get mad that other people love our fucking hair and want to wear it and dress like us, and it's like, but y'all created your own style out of that. And a lot of black Americans don't even like wearing their natural hair and shit. And it's beautiful. You get me? But again, they made their own style, which is cool. But us that are from like I'm African Belizean, we have that Africanness rooted in us. So we're more like proud of that. We're okay with being natural. We're okay with wearing wigs and weaves and stuff too, but we're not ashamed. Like, but that, again, that was passed down through programming because y'all got more white in y'all blood. So y'all, that came from y'all trying to be like the white people. But when you don't have that open-mindedness, you don't see it like that. You just gonna fight and be like, ah. But anyway, we're not gonna get into that because y'all know I've been preaching tonight. I'm gonna stick to tarot. Just be creatively you. Exactly. Once we get rid of that division, and it's not saying don't know where you come from. Like, I'm a firm believer in like, know your roots, where you come from. I'm proud of my African roots, but I'm also East Indian. I'm also Mexican. And I proudly also embrace those roots. Nobody's gonna make me feel like just because I got that African in me, I can't embrace the other ones. Like, you get me? That comes from people in their own mindset, because they'll be like, oh, you think you better than because you mixed? You got curly hair, you this, you that. It's like, no, that's your projection of me. But I could be proud of where I come from. I don't have to hate my Indian heritage or my Mexican heritage because you feel some type of way about me. The fuck? It's my fucking hair. That's how I look. It's the skin that I have. That's what I was born with. So you want me to hate myself? And because I don't hate myself, like, that means I think I'm better than you? No, that's something you went through. Like, because we did have that growing up, right? That division of like mixed people. You're not black enough because you this, you that, da 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 da. So again, that's like a programming. And we have programming everywhere. It's not just in America. But I do feel like America has the worst of it. But it's all programming. It's not who we are. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make. It's not who we are. So when we're programmed to believe certain things about ourselves, that culture, everything affects us. And in America, people are blinded by stupid shit. People care about materialistic things more than they care about your heart. So in this case, this King of Wands, he didn't know this feminine was an empress because this feminine is more rooted in herself, right? He's looking for the applauses. He's looking for what people are going to say he did a good job in. So, sorry, I'm over here burping. Instead of following his heart, right, which was always with the Empress, he loved how she was loving him, but he thought that that's all she was. So then he thought he could find something better, but he's looking for external validation. He's not looking for what matches his heart, because she matched his heart. But he's looking for what society is going to say he did well, he did good in, right? Because of what his programming is. So he thinks he desires this because his friend says, yeah, go over here. His family says, this is the type of feminine you should choose, da 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 da. But now when you did choose that direction and it doesn't make you happy because it's fake, it's not fulfilling, it's not what your heart really desired, but you felt you couldn't choose this path because it's not what society said you should have. Now you're waking up to the fact that you didn't use your free will. You did, but you did it based off of being controlled and manipulated by what you thought you wanted because you didn't know yourself and what you really want. Now you're spying and you're seeing her different because she's taken that away from you. Now you see the shadow part of her. You don't know how to break that barrier because you never knew her. You thought you knew her, right? And then now you see she's an empress because she never gave a fuck about society. She never cared about the differences that you guys had. She just cared about you. And that is what you can't find replaceable, is somebody who authentically saw you on a soul level and cared about you and wanted just you. Now you see that there's people that just wanted you for the materialistic things that you had or how good you looked, or you give me whatever it was. So he's awakening to the fact that he has free will and he didn't use his free will, right? But this is a slow realization because this is spiritual maturity. He is growing spiritually. Like, y'all seen all the gems that I've been shooting out? This has been over the course of 5 years, right? 5 years before this moment, I was not this person. But life took me here because the 5 years prior, I was married in a miserable relationship. I was in Christianity underneath other people's control, but I never believed it. But I didn't use my free will. But I never believed it because when I would pray and I'm having intrusive thoughts and I'm just talking the whole time in my head and I don't feel connected to this God that I'm supposed to love, but then I felt like I would be in trouble if I thought anything else, if I believed in anything else. Until I got to that point where it was just like, I'm so miserable. I have kids with this man, but we're not going anywhere in life. I'm very ambitious, but I'm so creative. And like, he hates my creativity. Like, what am I doing here? And then like, I can't picture myself with him without the kids. When the kids go off to college, that's when I'm going to leave him and start my life all over. Like, I don't want to be here. That was the moment I woke up. And I was in that marriage for 10 years. But it took me 10 years. And as soon as I left him, like, I had peace, because he was always negative and I was always trying to be positive for him. I was so empathetic. I placed him above me. He hated that I colored my hair. I did everything that he wanted. I submitted, but I was miserable, and I just could not understand how God would want that for me. Like, people told me that's who I was. I wanted to serve God. My heart was good. My intentions was good, but it didn't make sense. And then when I stepped out of the box and I just said, fuck it. I'd rather be miserable and start all over and struggle, because I was a stay-at-home mom. I had nothing, but I always knew how to hustle. I always knew how to find resources. It was like, I'd rather do that. And I was scared. 4 kids, what am I going to do? And I'm not going to lose my kids. They got to go through this with me. I told my kids, once we broke up and he moved out immediately. So I was left with the bills, right? But guess what? I had to learn through that. Never fucking depend on a man again. Always have your own shit, because when you decide you want to leave, you have the power to leave. And then he prioritized himself. So he didn't help me with the kids in the beginning. I feel like some of it was punishment, right? Because he didn't want me to leave. But I found my resources and I figured out a way to take care of things in the time being. My credit went to shit because I had good credit and I had like 10,000, a lot of money on my credit card, but I used that to pay rent. I used that to take care of my kids, and I was happy. I was happy because I didn't have a man coming home to me with his negative ass energy and wishing he was gone when he would come home, and I could do what the fuck I wanted. I was creating, and then I came up with a plan. I'm gonna move to Texas. My mom is in Texas. But this was all the universe telling me this, and I was scared as shit because Christianity said, this is all the devil. And I was getting into tarot, and they told me, I prophesied my whole future. You're going to lead a collective, right? This is what you're going to do. Da 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 da. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just knew I had to do it. But I had to get myself together first. Move to Texas. Then I think like 4 months after that, Spirit was like, start your YouTube channel. And I still didn't trust the universe. Like, I'm telling, but I was like, nothing else worked, right? My mind is opening up. Knowledge is coming to me. I don't know how I'm channeling things. I just know everything is going to be okay. But then I was also delusional because I thought it was going to happen quick. But no, I was learning. It wasn't happening quick because I had to learn every step of the way how to handle a collective, how to like get my confidence in who I am, what I'm doing, because people are going to come for me, my family. They're not going to believe in me. They're not going to support me. They're going to tell you, go get a real job, da 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 da. You got to work for free before you get any revenue, profit off of it. But you got to believe in yourself. Like, it was a whole lot, right? So remember, like I said earlier, when that person was talking about life coach, I'm like, it's your experiences that are going to teach you. But the universe proved to me that I could trust it more than I ever could in Christianity, because Christianity was just a bunch of people putting their rules and regulation on who I'm supposed to be. Spirituality taught me that, no, I create my reality. And my guides never told me what to do. They always told me, they gave me guidance. And the guidance was always about loving myself, putting myself first. They're the ones that all they've ever done is protect me from narcissistic people who want to use my energy to benefit them. Taught me how to love myself. Like, how is that bad? I think that's the love of God. You get me? But even them same religious people gonna tell you stay in a relationship with somebody who's abusing you, not making you happy. How is that the love of God? So anyways, I promise you, it all boils down to the reading, right? But I told y'all I'm preaching today. So that's this masculine energy. Just like I explained to y'all what I went through to get to this point of wisdom knowledge, this is his beginning. This is his journey. This is his awakening. He was not using his free will. We all start off asleep, being told who we are, until we have to clear that out. But we got to clear that out going through experiences. We got to get into relationships are to teach you. Boyfriend, girlfriend, that's to teach you. You get me? And then when you outgrow that, You move on to another relationship. That's fun to me. You mean I get to love a bunch of different people? Shh. We get experiences, we get good sex, or this sex was bad, but now this one is getting better and this one's getting better. Oh, I didn't know there was different levels to sex. What? Right? Then you get to different levels in communication. Like all of that. Like you're free. You're free. You're a free fucking spirit. There's no rules to life. That don't make you a hoe. Like you should have some like dignity about yourself. You should have some standards. I don't think you should be out here fucking everybody, giving everybody access to you. You get me? But if you wanted to, that is your right as well. Nobody has the right to judge you for that. Like, you're free. You're a free spirit. You're a free spirit. But we don't understand that when we start off this journey. We don't know that we're free, right? We don't know that we don't really want the things that other people are telling us to want. So with this masculine, that's where he was. He thought he wanted the things that he wanted until he figured out that I wasn't. And now this empress comes to his mind, but he's scared as shit of this empress coming back around because he ruined things with her. But he has been growing spiritually, so he wants a more spiritual life. Okay, what else? 5 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. Now here we get to the root of it. He actually was intimidated by her. He didn't think he was enough, right, to be her partner. But again, where does that come from? The programming. Why wasn't he enough or thought he was enough to be with her? Queen of, because she was so goddamn fucking confident in herself. Queen of Wands, look how she's shining, right? We got Knight of Swords. And it's like, they're scared. It's like they get nervous when they think about talking to her. They don't know what to say to her. You know, they were nervous. So they never admit that. 2 of Wands, the Hermit. The Magician, the Hangman. I feel like they wanted to figure out how to be like her. So okay. So it's like when they met her, remember they were still under this programming, but they saw her as like, she's so strong. She's so self-sufficient. She's so confident. She knows who she is, what she wants. And then it was like, they didn't know. It's like they're so nervous, they didn't know how to speak to her. But they wanted to hide that they're nervous, that they get tongue-tied around her. So it's like her energy was intense. There we go. It was intense. It was like, what's mean, Barbie? Thank you, Cleansed. You're welcome. You think I'm better than you and that's a you problem? Exactly. Thank you, Cleansed. Sylvia, you funny. I'm not innocent. I think I used to be innocent. Now I'm not innocent. I'm bad as fuck. Thank you, Barbie. Hi, Ebony. Oh, it was a troll in here? Nani, you got them? That's funny. I didn't even see it. Y'all doing y'all thing. Oh, I just been here running my mouth. I'm telling y'all tonight, I just been preaching. But you know, sometimes it's like you guys need to hear it, right? Like that's how, because I'm the tarot reader that try to relate to y'all. Like I'm on this journey with y'all. I don't have everything figured out. I know the purpose of why we're on this journey so it don't get to me, but I'm still on it with you guys. And sometimes you got to share those testimonies because there's people in that cycle right now that need help getting through, and they have to have hope when they see somebody else that's already pushed through it. You get me? And then somebody that's already going through it, because there's some things where it's like my collective know about me from the beginning. Like before I moved into my own space, there's people that was a part of my collective. So when I moved, I was like, y'all, I got into my house. You get me? And there was people that was with me when I was living with my mom and my stepdad. And I first started my YouTube channel. So, and then there's some of you guys that came in at a different time in my journey, like my light and series shadow, right? Some of y'all saw it today. But my light and series shadow, like I have no idea how to act, but that's just, it's natural. I have a lot of natural talents, but it's like I'm teaching myself, and I have this vision, and that's also something that I'm building. So it's like I'm showing my process because I have big future plans for that. Like I want to make that a whole production where I'm acting with other people, and light and shadow are their own entities. They have their own style, all of that. Like I'm a writer. You get me? All my stuff I write by myself. I don't use Chat GPT. I produce it, but as I'm doing it, I'm figuring it out. Da 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 da. But it's like those of you guys that go and tap in over there, and you guys are watching that, you guys are seeing my development in that space, because I'm gonna be big, okay? It might take years, but that's what I'm destined for. So it's like me being obedient to spirit and my purpose and my plan. I'm walking with y'all. Like I'm not just out here reading tarot. It's like I'm bringing up my collective with me. So sometimes I gotta get preachy because that's just what I feel called to do in the moment. And sometimes I'll shut the fuck up and I'll just read the energy. But it is what it is. Hi, vibing. We vibing. We reported the shit out of them. Out here with that BS. Oh my God. Fuck out of Houston. Hey, you in Houston, AA. No, I love it. I love it. Y'all be riding. But this is how we connect, right? Who got a problem with it, they gonna get up out of here. And they nothing. They just, like you said, it's distractions. So with the Two of Wands and Hermit, it's like he was scared of her, but he didn't want to admit that she made him nervous. Like, okay, so I'm getting the energy of like, you know when somebody's like a player and they be slick with their words, everything, but it's like with her, it was different. They felt her power, but they didn't want to acknowledge that that's what it was, it's like they met their match. And I don't mean that they were on her level, but I mean like she could see through them. It's like if they thought they were fine and sexy and all of that, like, and they had like a bunch of people wanting them, and they're looked at as like the successful one or whatever. It's like she also had people that saw her that way and wanted her. Like, you get me? So they were equal in that, where it's just like, oh, you pull, me too, right? But she's more selective. She doesn't let that get to her head. I feel like she had more loyalty to her that was like, if I want you, I don't give a fuck about who wants me. Like, none of that matters. I don't need all that attention and da-da-da. But see, because he's underneath that controlling and that programming, it's like people can lie to themselves that they have so much options and that they want that. But it's because something in them is insecure. It's like it makes you feel good because you don't feel good about yourself. So you constantly need that fulfilled, right? So it's like if you become like a sexaholic, like I'm somebody that's like, only when I'm having sex is when I'm horny. If I'm celibate, I'm not worried about sex. I don't get horny, none of that. But if you put that thing in me and I get started, oh my God, you can't get me off of you, and until you turn me off, right? But it's like Like, that's just how it is for me. I don't constantly need it. I don't constantly need different people to, like, yeah, I just don't. Like, and it's not even about like being loyal to a person. It's like I'm loyal to myself first. So it's like I only crave it and desire it if I feel like there's an energy that matches it. But some people constantly need like that validation through touch because it's something that's making them feel good, but they're taking. So then they'll have a lot of meaningless sex because you're just having sex to nut, to orgasm, rather than connecting. So it becomes meaningless after a while. It's like, this doesn't mean anything to you anymore because if you want to nut, just play with yourself, right? And then if you now have passion with an empress, somebody who is sacred, oh, you're not going to forget that experience because they're sacred people. You can't feel your own sacredness, you get me? But the way you affect other people is different. So when you carry that sacred energy to you, it's not about it being tight and big and all of that. It's literally the energy that you carry. So your sex is healing. Your sex is like I've experienced it with my King of Cups. He's a healer too. But that's the first and only time that I've ever experienced it. Outside of, no, I experienced it my first time because I was young and he was young. And we were best friends. We were so intimately close emotionally. So we were King of Cups, right? And he was a fire sign and I'm a water sign. I'm Pisces. But it was like, there was genuine love between us. That's what makes it sacred. So it was like, because it was my first time and with him and stuff, it was like, it always felt right. It like sacred sex feels right. You don't feel disgusting. You don't feel like negative at all. You feel good. You don't have that like, oh my God, did I make them like think differently of me because we slept together? Da, da, da. You don't have any of those type of feelings and emotion. It's just very comforting. It feels so, it feels safe. It feels safe, right? And then it's like when you do it with somebody that's just like, that's all they wanted, you feel nasty. You feel like they took something from you. Egotistical sex versus like sacred, it feels different. And then the second time that I felt it in this more adult, right? Because I was teenage. That was like first time experience. But then me and him did it again when we were 18 and it didn't feel the same because he was different. He had other experiences and then he was more egotistical. It was all about like pleasure for him rather than the love, right? So then when I had that experience with the King of Cups, it was more sacred because he was pouring love into me. Like our energy was so genuine. So the collision of it was like, this is pure love. So it's pure. When somebody only is looking for gratification, you get me? It's like, you're going to feel that. So you're going to feel the energy as like they're taking from you. They're not giving because it's just about how they're just seeking pleasure. But that doesn't mean that's how they feel on their end. They might, even if they were seeking pleasure, it's like your energy still is more than that. Your energy is love. So that's the sacredness. That's where they'll never forget it and then if you take care of yourself and that thing just good, you get me? That thing just good because you don't be giving it out and you take care of it. You take your vitamins, all of that. Like, then that's just the cherry on top. But your energy alone is enough, right? You get them people and they be busting in 2 minutes. Yeah, that's how you know that shit good. But they don't forget that experience because even if they were seeking gratification, you'll stand out because they felt safe, they felt at home, they felt at peace. And, this is how this masculine feels. It's like whatever they didn't recognize in that moment, now that they're awakening, it's coming back to that time, that they experienced this feminine and how loving she was and how sacred she really was. And they didn't respect her sacredness. They didn't understand her sacredness until they kept experiencing other connections on their journey to where they never got that. And lust got boring. With her, they know it wasn't just lust for her. It wasn't, her energy is what they now crave, because now they want to use their willpower to choose what their heart authentically desire rather than what the world says that they should. So now they want to be her partner. We got Nine of Cups. Ooh, we got Nine of Swords, 9-9. Now y'all look at that card. Do you see how that energy feels? Just focus on how that energy is, right? That's the Nine of Swords. You know, that's the card of stress and anxiety and all of that. But it's like this person is losing their mind because, ooh, they desire her. They desire her more than anything. They're wishing that they chose her, that they didn't do what they did, because you see now on this card, this is the Seven of Cups. That's a feminine. If y'all could see the image of her, right? Like, that girl is on fire. But that's a feminine. And the Seven of Cups is the card of options, choices, all of that, illusions. They didn't choose her. But the reason why they're looking at her like that, I'll try to put it in my Amazon store. Because I don't be knowing the names of my decks. But if I look for it, I'll find it. But it's like, when they look at her and they're spying on her, they're like, how could I have been so foolish? She was always the best choice. She stood out of all the other options. You know, even in the past, we got Six of Pentacles, Six of Cups. They could have balanced out things with her, and they had more than one opportunity to fix the situation, the connection. But they were not this emperor. So because they seek more control, that's what they pursued. And that's what ended this connection. So it's like now they're having this anxiety because they lost her. But she's so different, you know? And hi, Crystal. We're doing good. Hi, DJ. They lost her, and she is like, and then the thing is that she's changed. So she's not, they chose to go in a different direction. They lost her. And then the thing is like, now they want to come back because now they're ready for what she has to offer. She is not the same person. So her not being the same person, it's cold outside, all right? It's cold outside. So they thought that she would probably still be in like that place where they left her. But instead it's like she's grown more powerful and she's not. It's like now it's like, okay, an image of that, it's like you had somebody who had a gate to their home, and that gate was built out of wood. You could still break past that wood, right? Like you could literally just kick that down, go through that gate. You could hop over it. Now they go to her house, and this is just an example of like coming in into somebody's space, because when someone's open and loving to you, they have a softness to you, they'll embrace you. Even if you made mistakes, they'll forgive you, accept you. They ran out of that because she was giving so much forgiveness to them. They got comfortable and they were egotistical, arrogant. So they went a different direction, but now they thought, because that's how she was, now that they want what she had to offer because the fun is over, they come back to her house, they circle back around. That house Gate ain't made out of wood anymore. So they cannot break through there. Now it's fucking bricks all the way to the top. So you can't hop over it or nothing. You literally got to get let in. You get me? But how do you get past those bricks now? You get me? Because now it's cold outside. So yeah, they don't. So now it's cold outside and they can't get past those bricks. All right, that's how they feeling. Okay, Spirit, what else? Let's start to wrap this up. What are they going to do? Because we know how they feel. They want to come back in. They're watching to see if she have any other lover. They feel like she don't, but they feel like she's a player now. She's a lot more cold-hearted. They recognize that she's changed. They still think she's an empress, but they think that she's content with not being with anyone. And it's like they're scared that if they did come back in, she could just kind of discard them. Because remember, that's what they did to her, right? They stuck in the past. 6 of Cups. They could look at her pictures if they have photos of her, or they could just stare at her photos online, but they remember how she treated them. We have Temperance. They could have just gotten over some breakup or separating from somebody because they're like focusing on their independence. But the way they look at her, they also feel like she's very classy, she's independent, she's successful. She could have a business, she doesn't have to. But she's made it through some hard things, right? But she is self-sufficient. She's a catch. She's good. She doesn't need anybody. We have 8 of Swords. We have 6 of Swords. Why is that 8 of Swords and 6 of Swords there? We got that 9 of Swords again. So they stay up late thinking about her. What else? They think her life is good. So this is 2 separate energies. Oh, they see her as that Queen of Swords again. They're so scared of her. They're scared to talk. This is how she's looking to them, right? Like, she's not crying over spilled milk. Y'all see that cup on the floor? She seems to, the way they see her is like she embraced hard times. I'm just getting like, they're so scared of her. They just think that, but it's crazy because they really thought she was so sweet, so soft, so feminine, so graceful, so forgiving. But now they see her like a bitch. Like, not even that she's being one, but you know, that's the only way I could explain it. Like, they feel like she mean. See, look, I told you, Queen of Cups. That's how they saw her before. That's 2 different energies, right? You got one person who is soft, artistic. They're by the water, painting. Even the vibe of that card. It's like this nostalgic feeling to it. Very peaceful. And gentle. There's like this gentleness, like I could sit here forever. Y'all know when you sit by the water, like that feeling that it gives you, that cleansing when you take a shower, that's how she felt. Now, that's not the energy they're getting off of the Queen of Swords. You can't bathe in my water. Now they getting like, she gonna stab the fuck out of me, right? With that big ass sword. She gonna cut something down. What do you want? Why are you here? That's how they feel. Like, if they come knocking on her door, that's what she gonna say. Like, what do you want? The fuck? So it go from like sweet loving baby to the fuck. What else? They feel like the tables have turned. because they juggled her. So they now feel she's going to be the one playing with them, right? They're like, because remember, they see her like a player. They're like, I know she got options. I know. Because to me, it's like when she was that Queen of Cups, they didn't think about her having other options because of how loving she was and soft, because she was loyal to them. And then they also probably didn't see her as like they thought she was beautiful, but they didn't see her as sexy. There's a difference. Beautiful is like, you look good, like your physical attributes and things like that, right? But sexy is like, it pulls more on that lustful energy out of you. Because you could think somebody look good and you could be turned on by them because it's like your face look good, like you're desirable. But then sexy is like that allure that's just like, now they see her as sexy because look at the Nine of Cups, right? Where will we go? Oh, I put her up. Damn. Y'all remember how that Queen of Cups looked, right? And then even the Queen of Swords, she's a lot more sexy. So that's a different energy. So they see her like this now, like she's sexy. She got it going on, but that's what the Empress is. The Empress is all of those queens. So now they see her as like that Queen of Wands too. But they feel like she could have anybody that she wants. So they feel like, I know that she got somebody. It's like it's switched. They feel like when they were being a player and they wanted everybody and they wanted all this attention, she was focused on them and she only wanted them. Now they're in her position where they're only focused on her and they want her. But they feel like she's now how they used to be. She's the player. She's the one juggling. She got options. I know she do. Whether it's true or not, that's what he thinks. I also get that, like, there was some point where he thought he could have this in the future. So remember, he was more arrogant in things in the past, and he wasn't choosing her because of what he thought he wanted. So this is that same masculine that was like he was double-minded, because it was like, I want her, but I want her in the future. This was before he got swayed into another direction, because he didn't have the courage to choose her yet, right? But he knew at his heart level she was a catch. So it was like, I want her, but I want her for later, when I got like everything established. Then I'll date her, then I'll pursue her. And that's the energy that she probably thought in the beginning as well. Like, I know he wants me, but he's not really moving towards me, because he knew that he would have to be serious with her. So then when he gets swayed into that other direction, when he picked another direction, because then he was like, you know what, maybe this is the direction I'm supposed to go, because everybody's telling him like, ooh, this girl is fine. Ooh, she would look good with you, da-da-da. It's like, now he's convincing himself this is the direction I should go. So now he's like juggling her and the other person. He don't know who to choose, but he's trying to keep it hidden, right? But she catches on, she cuts him out. He still continues pursuing the other person because he's thinking he's not going to care. And then he continues with that person, but now it's becoming a lesson, because that person don't compare to what she was giving him. And now he's learning through that experience that's not what he really wants. Now he's remembering the Empress, trying to figure out how to get out of this connection, because all he keeps thinking about is her. But now when he goes back to her, or try to come back to her, there's this blockage there. He feels like she's a different person. You get me? Now y'all caught up to like the energy that we've been reading. So it's like he's going back to that part in himself where it was like, I should have followed my intuition, because my intuition told me this was my person, and I should have followed that direction, because initially I had her plan for the future, that she's who I was going to give everything to. But I knew what it was going to take to be with her, because she was already so self-sufficient and independent and different. So it was like he respected that, but there was a part of him that didn't like it, because it was like it required more work out of him. So it's like you could like somebody but be mad that they won't let you be with them until you reciprocate this energy, and you don't feel you need to do all of that because your ego and your pride. But you can't help but respect them because you know that they're not easy. So it's like he liked the fact that she wasn't easy, but didn't like it at the same time, because it made it challenging for him to get what he want. And then that's when whatever other connection came in, it made it easier for him to go in that direction, because he was getting more of what he wanted at that time in that place, right? Where he gets to feel like this false emperor, where he had to actually do work to be her emperor. But that again that's where his intuition got distracted, because his intuition had already told him who his person was. But he made excuses for it, and then he followed the path that he got influenced to follow, only for it to lead back to, this was my person. So now he's spying, trying to figure out what the hell she got going on, who she with. Can I come back? But I'm scared as fuck, because she seemed different. Like she would bite my head off. I don't know what to tell you, masculine. What else? What else? Oh, look, she knows all of this. We got the high priestess. And that's the other thing. We got 401. She knew he wanted to marry him. That's why she was like giving him chances, because she's like, I know you want me and I want you too, but why the fuck are you acting like this? I don't think she knew that he wasn't as ready as she was. She was more stable. She was more in that Queen of Pentacles energy. Okay, so let's wrap this up, Spirit. How are we gonna end this? The thing is, he thinks she's the one, okay? He thinks she's the one for him, so it's looking like he's just trying to work on getting the strength to come back around, because he knows she's going to expect the truth, want the truth, right? That's why he's also scared of her, because he's like, if I lie to her, I'm going to fuck up my chances again. But if I tell her the truth, I might also fuck up my chances, because the truth is dirty. You get me? Because it's like when he thinks about it, saying it out loud, it's like, how do I tell her I knew you were the one for me? I knew you was the one for me, but, you know, like, I did choose another direction, but she didn't mean anything to me. And, like, now I see that you're the one for me, like, but I always knew you was the one for me. Because then her next question is going to be like, well, then why the hell did you leave? Like, if you knew I was for you, you didn't care about my feeling. You get me? It's like going to go into that. So he feel like they're going to end up arguing about it. So he doesn't know how to convince her that he really does love her. But he does know he's going to have to tell her the truth. And the only way through this is to face her. But I think he's scared of rejection. He feels like she just, as soon as she hears it, she gonna end things. Because it's just a messy situation, god damn. I kind of feel bad for him, I'm not even gonna lie. Because the thing is, like, he did need to experience this in order to appreciate her. He did. But he did create pain. But then at the same time, she also needed that development. She needed to tap into her shadow more, right? She needed to find that balance between herself and choose herself. So let's take ourselves out of the situation. And when you take yourself out of the situation and you look at it from a bigger standpoint, they both, when they met each other, felt that connection, like, you're my person. I'm supposed to marry you. He knew it, she knew it, but they didn't really know each other. But he still was in the place where he was. She was more spiritual, he was more physical. And he was still a womanizer, he was still a player. Like, that don't change overnight just because you find somebody that you like. You get me? He had a certain perspective mindset. She was coming out of a perspective mindset, but she still was healing. Then she gives him multiple chances, but then he's also acting like the past, so she gets fed up. She cuts him out because she feels like she's being juggled. She wanted something more serious. That hurt her, but really what's being hurt is her ego. Now her shadow comes out more, but that was teaching her a lesson too, like, stop being so given of yourself to somebody who's not committing to you. She needed to learn that lesson, right? Like, even if you want them, he's still treating you in a way that is in and out. So life is going to teach you. Now she's learning to hold more of her energy back to herself. And then he's still going on his journey. He's connecting to the person that he chose over the situation, over her. That person now he's finding out is karmic. But that's where he starts to learn, like, lust ain't better than love. Because his heart already told him. So now you're learning to trust your intuition because you went in a direction that you knew you wasn't supposed to really go. And it made you lose the person who really was meant for you. Now you did damage, right? You did damage all by yourself. But they both still had to learn something. Their connection would have never worked if she chose him and he chose her at that time, because he was still who he was. And she still hadn't learned how to fully love herself, to cut people off and stop giving them so much of her energy, right? So it's like, if we take ourselves out of it, we see it from that standpoint that, like, this was divine intervention. Even if they met and they wanted each other, their souls was not ready for each other. They still had to grow. And that's why they had to separate, because they had to grow through their karmic cycles so that they could grow into who they're supposed to become. Because if she was so in love with him or willing to give him everything, she would have lost herself in that connection again. The thing is that you're not supposed to lose yourself. You don't lose your independence when you get into a connection. Remember, we're free spirits. So he had to leave her and go learn with that karmic situation, to think that that's what he was wanted, for him to break that cycle of choosing shit that he thinks he wants when his heart wanted something else. Now he grows, right? Now he's becoming that emperor. Now he's remorseful. Now he's tapping into his King of Cups energy, where he's feeling, and he now craves the same thing that she was offering in the past. But then she had to go on her energy, get a little bit more colder, right? So when she's dealing with people, it's on her terms. Not because she's stringing them along, but it's like she's not going to deal with something she don't want to, because she learned when they triggered her to stop trying to, like, like, people going to do what they want. So it's like, don't think by you giving more is going to help the situation. Just do what's best for you. Then she still is building up herself as the Queen of Pentacles. So she was focusing on her stability, her own financial success. And now she's in a more stable energy where she's a lot more strong-minded, right? So they both had to work on empowering themselves and being very, very strong and going after what they actually really want. So it's like, when people keep disappointing you and you have to do everything by yourself and become more self-made, then that's where it's like, it comes through people rejecting you. It comes through people hurting you and you having to depend on yourself. So they still was a part of her shifting her mentality and how she viewed love and partnership. Boom, right? So they both had lessons to learn. And then now he's more ready. His heart is ready. He was going to always come back when he truly desired love, because that's how their contract was. They came into this lifetime with a contract. But remember, I said, take yourself out of it. Look at the bigger picture. They came into the lifetime with that contract that that's how it was going to go. Then now he's more ready. He's now more growing into that emperor energy, going through his realizations, learning to trust himself. He's now more on a spiritual path. So now he's tapping into his free will. Boom. And now she's more consistent in her own energy. She knows more of her worth and value. So if she's at a point where she is only looking for an emperor and she desires somebody who knows what they want, they're going to give to her, they're there to build with her, and he has that to offer, now that's where their energies match. It did not match in the past, regardless of how it happened. So she never lost anything because it was never ready, right? It's like you put something in the microwave and it's cooking. You're going to eat it when it's ready, when it's done. But if you cut the microwave off in the middle of it cooking, and then you're mad that it doesn't taste good because it's not done, you took it out the microwave. It was still cooking. So let it cook, and then you can enjoy it, right? That's what happened in this situation. So it's like their actual start to their relationship was always meant for later, when the universe said, this is now divine timing because y'all didn't know you guys were a lesson, but now is the real opportunity for it to work. So what she grew into was naturally what he was looking for, but he had to bump into the false version of it to appreciate the real version of it. So he met the real version of it, and then his ego took him towards the temptation, the false version of it. Then his ego got bruised because she cut him out, and then he saw the false version for what it was. Now he could appreciate the real version of it, right? So we have Knight of Pentacles, Five of Swords, King of Wands, Four of Cups, the Star, Knight of Wands, Justice. He did walk away from the person he was with, right? And the thing is that connection taught him how to have more confidence. So he is now more of a King of Wands. That's the beautiful thing, because remember, she came out as a Queen of Wands. He saw her as this, he sees her as sexy, like she changed, she fucking fine, right? So now from that connection that he was in, he got more confidence. So she was practice. Y'all remember that Drake song? They were practice or something, practice. I think that's the name of it. Yeah, practice. She was practice because she was his karmic, not who he was supposed to be with. The reason why it felt like she was his person was because she was his twin flame. Those of you guys that's been following me, you guys know I have a different take on it. I'm not into the whole twin flame hype. Your twin flames are karmic. But the thing is that, like, they're a mirrored version of you. Remember I was talking about the light and shadow energy? That's what your twin flame is. Your true twin flame. We have multiple ones, but that big twin flame, that's the big fish. That's the one that actually mirrors your soul. So that's the true twin flame. That twin flame is the one that feels like the one because they mirror you. It seems like it's a perfect match, but it is that runner chaser dynamic. They're pointing out things in you that, like, you need to change. And because you do love them, you work on some of those things, but then you see how it never works because it's always like two sides of the coin. So you both want the same thing, but you have a different way of getting to it. And it's like there's always a clash because it's like you're repelling each other, but you have what the other person needs. So the things that disgust you about that person is the same qualities that you portray, right? And it takes some time to see it because this is hidden. This is in the subconscious. Like my twin flame, an example of that, like my twin flame was a hoe. He fucked anything. He was very promiscuous. he just, yeah. Right? And it's like, I'm not like that. I'm the opposite of that. I'm more selective, but I'm very horny. Like, I could be those things. But the thing is that, like, my shadow energy would pretend like I'm Miss Goody Two Shoe, but I have the same desires to be that hoe. I'm just more, I have more control and selective of it, right? But it's like he does that in the flesh. So it's like I can't stand it in him because it's the same thing that I desire. I just got more control. Like I always said that, like if I didn't have kids this lifetime, or um, well, the biggest things, yeah, is kids. Like I would be a what is them people call, like I would be in polygamous relationship, but I would be the woman that have like 5 different men. I could do it, you get me? But it's like I could be greedy, all of that stuff, because I have that selfishness to me and I know I could do it. But I don't operate out of that energy because I'm the light energy. I am the empath. I am, you get me? So, but I know my power. I know I can manipulate, control, all of those things. But that's all of who he is in the flesh. He operates that way, right? So my twin mirrored the things that I kept hidden in me. And it's the same thing with them. If you're the light energy, they'll mirror you in that sense where it's like, they have those qualities and those traits, but they're afraid to show it to the world. You get me? So like my twin, he was a thug and all of that stuff, but he was very creative, very talented, and we could have done so much together. But he was so fearful of exposing that part of himself because he would be judged by these people that are supposed to see him as hard. But he showed me his soft side, right? So that's how your twin flame mirrors you. They teach you things, it's opposite, but it's the same. And if you guys find that balance within each other, then it could work. But it hardly ever works because that's not the purpose of the twin flame journey. The purpose is to unlock yourself, to come into balance with your own light and shadow. So they got to be more light and you got to be more shadow if you're the more empathetic one. Boom. So that's why twin flames feel like the one, because they're so close to you, so close to home. If he's still like that, 304. I mean, I think that he's been changing. I don't think my twin is still in that life because it's the pull. Like the more the light energy taps into the shadow, the more the shadow energy is going to tap into the light. It doesn't mean that you're meant to be together this lifetime, but that's the purpose of the contract. So when you meet your twin flame, that's when your life really starts to change. They, like in my case, it's like my twin was supposed to lose me because he betrayed me. I was there for him, by his side. I was loyal. I was empathetic. I was not this version when I met him. I was more of that like good girl coming out of Christianity. And he was a player, and he was like changing his lifestyle. He was honest with me about those things, but he also told me how he manipulated women, all of those things. So it's like I gave him a chance because to me I could trust you if you can acknowledge that you have problems. But my twin was also a felon. He was in and out of jail. You get me? And that was the first time I was ever with somebody in that lifestyle. But the thing is, like, I always hung around criminals. Like, since I was a teenager, I was just one of them girls that was like, I'm a good girl, but I got that edge to me. So it's like I'm non-judgmental and I'm friends with it. So, but I know better. Like, I'm not gonna join no gang. You get me? Because I know that's gonna ruin me. So he's just the type that like dive into all of it, but I am the same way. So with my twin, it was like everything he was, I understood him. Like I never judged him, but he was so insecure when it came to me because he didn't understand how someone like me could love him and not judge him and believe in him because he never had that. He was used to people manipulating, and then he had that trust issue, right? And then we both have multiple personalities. So it's like when people lie so much, they get good at playing different people, you get me? And I found out about all of it. So he couldn't hide things from me, and it got to a point where it frustrated him. The love was always there. He always loved me, but he knew what it would take to be with me, and what it took was so much change, trust, growth, that it was just like he had to find a way out. Like, and he did that by just self-sabotaging. And then he also wanted me to chase him and convince him to stay, but I didn't. I just let him go because I knew my worth, you get me? And that's not the life that I wanted to live. So one thing my twin always told me was like, you don't have enough patience to love me, deal with me, because I used to think that I did. So it's like my twin, whenever we had conversations, I always was enlightened, because it's like he was right, but he did point out, because people always put me on this pedestal of like, especially me coming from Christianity, I was like the perfect housewife in people's eyes. You get me? Like, oh shit, her family is just so well put together. Her daughters are so beautiful. Everybody's hair is done. The husband has such a beautiful wife. So it's like, when people put you on a pedestal, it's like you always feel like you can never mess up. So then it's like at the same time, you think that you're perfect, right? So my twin, he was so raw and like unruly. But I have that side to me, like when you really get to know me. But then it's like I would always keep that hidden from like the public or people. You get me? So it's like he reflected parts of me that I didn't really accept, that like I was like that. So he broke that whole image of perfection that people made me feel like I had to be, because of who he was. So it's like, and then what he pointed out in me, right? Like him saying to me, like, you don't have all the patience in the world to deal with, to love me, because what I didn't see then was he did need a lot of patience, because he was wounded. He was toxic. He grew up in that. So it's not that he purposely wanted to be that way with me, but his mom was toxic. His dad was toxic. Like, that's all he knew. You get me? Everybody was manipulative around him. So to find somebody who loved you on a soul level, how do you trust that they're really that? And then if you do start to open up to them, now you want to take it back because they could use that against you. So anytime anything would remind him of the past, if we would have an argument, like I kept telling him, you were insecure, because he always wants to ask me about like, who's this person, that person, da 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 da. And I was a very friendly person then. So it was like, I would always tell him like, you're just insecure. Because I didn't get it. I didn't treat him that way, right? And he was right. Like, he needed patience. He did need a lot of reassurance. And in a perfect world, if I would have reassured him more often, maybe that would have saved the relationship. I still don't think that the choices I made was wrong. I had to make those choices for myself, because I don't think I should be in a relationship where I'm constantly having to make somebody feel good about themselves, or our relationship that you should trust me, that I'm here for you. If I'm showing you that I'm here and I'm not treating you that way, like, I don't deserve that. You get me? So I do believe he's changed. I believe that with my absence, he has experienced other people, and he knows that I really did love him and I really did care. But he destroyed the connection because he kept projecting on me what other people did to him. And even though I knew everything about him, I never did that. I never judged him. It even came out that he was bisexual. A whole man hit me up, told me he was fucking him. Like, you get me? And even with me finding that out, like, I still was choosing to love him. Just be truthful to me. Tell me the truth. And this motherfucker still tried to hide it. But he never really lied to me. He just, like, he always tried to find a way around the conversation. Like, it's not what you think. I'll tell you about it at a later time, but I want you to stay out of it. Because he just put it all into, like, this is the lifestyle that I was in, like, and I don't want you a part of that. But it's like, it would have changed everything if you just let me know what was going on. Like, because that's what I'm telling you. That's how deep twin flames mirror you, because I was bisexual too, but I never claimed that, because it's like, I prefer a man. I prefer to be in a relationship with a man. I like masculine energy. So even with women, it's like I would never date a feminine woman. I would date a masculine woman because I like masculine energy. So when that came out, I was forced in that moment, like, am I going to judge him? Because that's me judging myself. That's me judging myself. I don't think that I'm really gay. Like, I think that there is a difference between your sexual desires and your preferences for a relationship. I never prefer to be with a woman. I always prefer to be with a man. Would I have sex with a woman? Yeah. Women are attractive to me, right? And I feel like that was the same thing. His lifestyle required him to do that. That's his business. But I do believe he was a masculine man. Like, I do believe he preferred a woman. I do believe he truly loved me. And even the dude told me that. He was like, that's why the dude was pissed off, because he was telling that dude lies, but he knew it wasn't true. And he was mad that he actually really wanted to be with me. So, man, that whole experience, it woke me up. I'd never been in a situation like that. But again, like I said, I do believe he's changing, because I always feel my twin. You'll always carry your twin, regardless if you talk, anything. And I just know him. I know him. And I've always known what was going to happen between us, because Spirit has always told me, you get me? So it was always prophesied that he was going to change. But I don't feel that we're supposed to be together. It doesn't matter how much he changed. I'll always love him. But that love is because you are me. It's not because I believe we're supposed to be together. I think he has so much karma on him that, like, maybe the next lifetime he'll be with somebody else. But, like, he just needs to get back to his light. And that's what I gave him when I met him, was pure, genuine love. So he knows that there's somebody on this earth that gave him pure, genuine love, who didn't judge him. He ruined the connection all by himself, right? But I also learned things from him. Like, because I loved him so much, I was so patient, and I didn't judge him. Even when I found out about the bisexual stuff, it was like, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. But that was the moment that it was like, do I really love him? Like, am I willing to accept this about him? And I tried to create that space for him to open up, for him to know, like, regardless, I'm your friend first. You get me? The love was genuine. It just, sometimes it boils down to people still choosing toxicity, even if there is love there, because it's too much work to choose what's right for you, because then his gang would have to look at him differently. Like, you get me? It's like, I would have changed his life. And then it's like, he wanted to protect me at the same time. So if that meant pushing me away, then that's what it had to be. And then his baby mama hated the fact that he was with somebody who was a bad bitch and, like, was better than her, quote unquote, because she don't compare to me, right? So she wanted to control him with the child, and he loves his daughter. So it's like, all of those things, it's like, I understand why he did what he did. I understand why he made decisions he did, and I don't hate him for it. But it don't change the fact that you still betrayed me, and you hurt me, and you did what you did. You get me? But the love is there. So yes, to answer all of that, yes, I do think that he is changing. I'm feeling that you can love someone, not want to be with them, not choose them. Exactly. And he did it first. He didn't choose me. You get me? I always choose my persons. Like, I always choose them. But I'm not going to force you to choose me. I'm not going to fight for it if you're not fighting for it. Because I don't think you should have to make someone choose you. I think that if they want to make it work, they're going to make it work for who they want to. Now, if you realize at a later time that you want me then, like, that's not my problem. You know, now some people I do think you could give a second chance to, but it depends on, like, the timing that they come back in. And it just depends on like what was done in the situation. Like in this situation with the King of Swords, I feel like if that King of Swords is coming in at a time where the feminine is still single and he can offer her that Emperor energy, and they never really started anything, but he went in another direction, like, I feel like it's perfectly okay for her to give him another opportunity. They both would have to let go of the past, start over, but it doesn't mean she has to choose him. Like, you might end up finding out you're not really that compatible. But is it okay to let go and let bygones be bygones? Because if she went on her journey and she met other people, or she fucked on other people, let it go. You get me? Give it a chance. But if it doesn't, don't force it. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And if there is somebody else that she's interested in and she likes that person more because he was solid from day one, it doesn't have to be a hard decision. She could just choose that direction. And if it doesn't work out with them, it doesn't mean she needs to bounce back to them. Or she could, because then maybe that would be their karma. But to me, you get to a point on this journey where it's just like, just look at things from the bigger picture and it doesn't matter. It don't matter, right? Because it's like everybody got to go on their journey and everybody got to learn. But it's about what matters to you. Thank you, Kat. It's about what matters to you. So just have fun. And at the end of the day, if you're taking care of yourself and you're loving yourself, you're not lacking in love ever. So even if you don't choose to be with somebody, you're going to be okay. But you're worthy. You're always worthy. You just have to really know that and let people make the decisions that they feel is best for them, right? So let's see. He come back in as this King of Wands, but it's because of what he learned from that connection that he was in. And then, so he's a lot more confident, right? And using his free will. Now he's not as afraid to pursue her, embrace her. He's hoping that he can have another opportunity. I feel like he wants to send her a message. And he's hoping that she would respond. He's hoping that she could see that he's taking accountability, trying to balance it. And that she would open up her heart again. But he is kind of scared of being left on red. What else? Ace of Wands, the Sun. Ooh, he's remembering the time he was really happy with her. So I think just to wrap it up, he does have fears. You know, she's on his mind a lot because he knows that she would have given him everything. She was the stable offer. They just didn't know what they know now. And it's like they're now ready for what she was offering, but they just weren't ready then. And they'd be really sad if she doesn't want their commitment, but they would commit to her. They don't want to just play with her. They really want to marry her. They want to be her person. So we'll see whatever comes out in the next reading, but that's what we have. Boo Butterfly Gang Gang. And see, YouTube didn't cut off this time. I feel like they always got to cut me off one of these videos. And then when you do the other video, then they want to let it go play for a long time. But I'm trying to give y'all these readings because like I told y'all, I'm not going to be consistently here until around the 7th. So like I might miss tomorrow, but I'll try to come back on the next day. And then we'll get back in balance on like the 7th to the 8th because the kid's going back to school. Right now, I'm about to go into Patreon, do those 2 readings, and then I'm going to go to Queen She Tarot. That's the zodiac readings. So we'll probably do 6 tonight, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I'll probably do 6 tonight, or maybe 4. Or maybe 3. I'll see how much energy I have. But I already did 3 over there, and I think I did the earth sign. So I did Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Today I'm going to do the fire signs, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius for sure. And then after that, I might do the water signs. I'm trying to give everybody a turn to where I like mix it up to who's going to go first, right? So it's not always the same group. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you guys for being supportive, chilling with me, chatting with me. This live was fun. It was nice. And y'all know I got to do my thing, talky talk. Those of you guys that are new, my name is Queen She. I love you guys. Check out the other readings. All my readings are like a series. So they're connected and then they're timeless. It does not matter the day that I read them because my readings are always beginning to end. So it's like a storyline. And then you could put yourself where you fit because sometimes things haven't played out for you yet, but you'll see them play out if you keep moving on that journey, right? If you guys want to book personals, the link is in the bio where it says connect with me. Click on that link. Also, told you guys there's a link to these glasses and you can get a discount on them because I have a discount code there. So you could purchase them. And then, yeah, whatever else you need to know about me. And then check out my other channel with the light and shadow series if you guys are interested in that. But if you guys go to my homepage and you scroll down, it's going to say collaboration. And that's where you guys could see that channel as well. Because it's like I'm collaborating both channels, right? Eventually I'm going to stop. I'm just doing that right now so I could kind of like get some of you guys over there. And then that channel is going to be its own thing. It's just going to be my light and shadow series. And why I love doing those is because it's like, it's my way of relating to you guys. So it's like an extension of these storylines, right? But from that perspective of your light and shadow energy and what you guys be thinking while trying to balance out how you're going to handle situations. So the dialogue is more so of like just between light and shadow. And there's usually a topic. Like the last video I did, episode 4, which right now it's really early. So that's why I think y'all should go over there and start watching them because it's going to develop. But it's not like this where it's like a series of the same energy. It's more so of like topics. So it's like this one was called I Thought He Changed, right? So that concept is between the light energy and the shadow energy. And shadow is very taunting in her energy. It's like she'll try to make you feel bad about stuff. So she's asking light about how, if she's gotten over like getting played, right? And then light is answering from her perspective, how you guys think when you're using your heart. And then shadow is like making her think in a way because of how she dialogues back with it, where it's like if you would have done this or thought like this, da 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 da, you get me? Which gets you guys to think. So, but you could always, what I'm projecting is that you could always see how you're supposed to use that energy together. Light is her own entity and shadow is her own entity. So it's never going to be that shadow is going to be more like light and light is going to be more like shadow. It's that there's you, right? Because sometimes I appear as well where it's like Queen She. So you'll see 3 people in there. But it's like there's you and then there's your light energy and your shadow energy. So they have to work together, but they're their own entity. So that's how that one goes. And then in the future, I plan to have like actual episodes where it's like I have other people acting and like it's a whole production. So it's like an actual series, right? And it's not really lessons based. It's just like them being their own entities and like how they operate in everyday life. So that might take like 2 years or something though before we get there. But right now I'm just going to do what I can. But I love you guys. And yeah, check that out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for always being supportive and being here. I love y'all. And I will see you guys next